have a call from Wisconsin. So Wisconsin, what is your question?
This is Dr. Dennis Yockers. I'm with Washington Elementary School, and their question is, are there bats in both the Caribbean National Forest and the Tongass National Forest?
Okay, thank you very much. Did we hear that? Are there bats in both the Caribbean and the Tongass National Forest? Should we go, Patty, to you first, and then we can go to Puerto Rico?
You bet. There are bats up here, and Dr. Dave might give us a little more information on that.
Yeah, there are certainly bats in the temperate rainforests of southeast Alaska. There are not many species. There's really only one that's abundant here. It's just a difficult environment for bats to exist in.
So that's all there is about bats up here. Sandy, let's hear about Puerto Rico.
Okay, Puerto Rico, I'm betting you have a little bit more information about bats.
We do have a lot of bats here in Puerto Rico, so let's talk to Fernando Nunez, our biologist, about how many different bats we have in Puerto Rico and what their importance is in our ecosystem.
We have about 80 species of bats.
80?
Eight species of bats. As you know, our island condition, mostly the flying animals can get to the island, and most of our vertebrates are birds, and also we have bats. We have fruit bats, we have fishing bats, and we have insectivores also.
So they actually eat fish, some of them?
Yeah, we have a fishing bat, and you can at night see them fishing for small fishes in different areas, mangroves areas, and also channels.
You know, people criticize bats, but their guano is a good fertilizer, and one colony of bats can actually eat tons and tons of mosquitoes, right?
Yeah, they are beneficial. They also disperse the fruits of different trees in the rainforest, and they control insects and also are an important part of the ecosystem.
All right, Sandy, I hope that answered your question from Puerto Rico.
Thanks so much, Susan and Mr. Nunez. Now, I think we have a question from our email audience. So, Alexandra, what question do you have?
We got an email question from Mrs. Pierce's 6th grade class in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. They would like to know what a day in the life is like for a forestry scientist.
Oh, that's a great one. You know, perhaps, Patty, can we go to you and you can tell us what a day is like for you?
For a forest ranger, was that the question?
Was the question a forest ranger or scientist?
A forestry scientist.
Oh, okay. Perhaps Dr. Meinzer.
Dr. Meinzer, the question was, what's a day like? What's your typical day like for a forest scientist?
Canopy crane and do some research in the upper canopy, measure what the foliage is doing, how much photosynthesis it's doing. If I'm not out in the field, I might be staring at my computer screen all day trying to figure out what my data mean.
There's a typical day, Sandy.
Sounds great. Okay, great. Now we have a call from West Virginia. So caller, what's your question?
The question is, how does global warming affect rainforests?
Okay, how does global warming affect rainforests? That could be in either place, but let's go to Puerto Rico and see what you have to offer.
Well, let's answer that question, how global warming affects rainforests. But first we want to show you a demonstration that we're doing here. We have a lot of medicinal plants in the forest, and some of them burn. This is what kind of a tree?
Tabonuco tree.
Which is a turpentine tree, right? It smells like eucalyptus and menthol.
Is candlewood in English, and is the most magnificent tree of our flora. It provides food, and Fernando can explain.
It's one of the favorite food items of the Puerto Rican parrot.
Oh, really? But it tastes like turpentine.
They like them.
All right.
Our people in the country use this type of instruments for light in the country. You can take a taste on this.
It's medicinal, it's like gum. But actually, Ariel, then how does global warming affect the tropical forest?
He's warming the globe right now with his torch.
Uh-oh.
But the rainforests are already growing in warm places, so if the world gets warmer, the rainforest could be affected by increasing the respiration of the trees, and therefore they might grow less. But also the possibility that we might get more hurricanes in Puerto Rico, more frequent hurricanes, and that would mean that the forest would be affected by those events.
All right, back to you then, Sandy.
Great. Thank you so much, Susan. And can we go to Alaska? And perhaps Dr. Meinzer could comment on how global warming might be affecting the temperate rainforests.
Well, the way global warming might affect temperate forests could be rather complex. It may not be so much direct effects on the trees and how they grow, but on things that might attack trees. For instance, there's some insects that attack trees that if there's not a cold winter to decrease the insect population, they can multiply considerably and just devastate large areas of forest. So it's thought that that might be one of the effects of global warming, is that these insect populations would stay high and devastate large tracts of forest.
So Sandy, before we go back to you, we just found something interesting down in the creek here, and we'd like to show you.
Great.
My colleague Pete here has captured a male coho salmon. This salmon has probably not fed for quite a long time, since leaving the ocean, and its only purpose right now is to come up the stream, fertilize the eggs, and then it'll die. And these, as I said earlier, are so important. Salmon is so important to this ecosystem. For example, for a bear, brown bear, 1 day feeding on a salmon stream provides enough energy for 5 days of hibernation.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, that's wonderful. That's just fascinating. That was quite a treat to see that coho salmon. Okay, we have a question from our studio audience. So what's your question?
What kind of animals have only been found in Puerto Rico that are nearly extinct?
Oh, great question. Okay, what kind of animals have only been found in Puerto Rico that are nearly extinct?
What kind of animals have only been found in Puerto Rico that are nearly extinct? We do have a lot of native-only species here.
Well, we had a rodent that we argue whether it's extinct or not, and la huitia, that's how we call it. And
it's like a big gerbil.
Yes, and it used to be eaten by the native Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
But it hasn't been seen in a long time.
All right. Now we have the Puerto Rican parrot and the boa,
and
the Puerto Rican boa.
Let's not forget the sapoconcho, which is a frog that lives in the dry forest and is buried under the soil and only comes out when it rains a lot.
Yeah, so it's out in mass
right now,
and breeding,
that's right.
which is good. People complain about the rain. What other species? Now we have 16 species of coquis. 3 are in danger of extinction. We talked about the parrot. Can you think of any others?
So, yeah, we have also here the charging hawk, the Puerto Rican charging hawk, which is a subspecies.
Is that the guaragua or the
it's Falconcito de Sierra, and also the broadwing hawk, which is endangered. And we have the plain pigeon in other areas. We have the yellow-shouldered blackbird, and not including the sea turtles and the manatees and the whales.
Oh, that's
also
right. We have sea turtles and manatees and whales. Victor, you wanted to add something, but being an island, we have a lot of endemic species.
We lost the ground sloth.
The ground sloth. We had ground sloths
South America still has sloth. Puerto Rico had a ground sloth, probably this tall. Cuba had another ground sloth that is the tallest.
All right.
As big as us.
One more big surprise perhaps for you, Sandy. We also had hooded seals, and we lost those as well.
Thanks so much. Okay, and now we have a call from Alaska. Alaska, what's your question?
Hi. Hi. This is Sky from Petersburg, Alaska. I was wondering, how many types of fungi are there in Southeast Alaska?
Wow, that's a good question. I think we need to go to you folks, Patty. How many types of fungi in Southeast Alaska?
How many types of fungi? Well, we've got a lot of really great experts here that can nail that question, I'm sure. We're going to start with Dr. Meinzer, and he can chime in.
Well, I'm not a mycologist. That's a person who studies fungi. But my guess is that there are probably several dozens, if not over 100, because I know in the temperate forest to the south of here, there are types of fungi that associate with the roots of the trees and help the trees get nutrients, and there are hundreds of species, say, down in Washington and Oregon, so my guess is that there must be at least dozens up here.
Dr. Dave, would you like to add anything to that?
Well, yeah, I can't say how many different species there might be here in southeast Alaska, but they are very important, particularly for northern flying squirrels. It's the main food source for flying squirrels.